Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Jaden here, and today I've decided to break my silence. Now, I know if you're watching this video, you're gonna be like, "How quiet? You're never quiet. You're never silent." But this isn't right you talking. This is actually Jaden talking for once. This is me. This is who I am. This is pretty much my life story, and this is how everything's going in this house. Everything has been for me. So, um. So where do I begin? I guess I'm gonna begin where everything kind of took a turn for the worse. Which was whenever my mama she moved in with my dad. Now I was too young to remember. So my dad, like me not having a dad, I never really cared about that. I didn't care that I didn't have him around, and he's I guess something, but I don't hate him. I don't know him, so it's like whenever people bring up the fact that oh you don't have a daddy or whatever, it doesn't hurt me. I never knew him, so like what the fuck is the point? You're just talking about a figure that I never fucking had, so let's just get that out of the way now. If I had, like, I know I have a dad, but I just don't care about him. Um, so around the time my mama and my dad got a divorce and they moved, and my mom moved in with my grandmama, all I know is that I was kind of too young to remember. So I know that I do remember that part though. I was attending a school called Greg's Elementary. My cousin went there, and And the truth is, I was skinny at that time. I was skinny. I was happy. I had everything. Um, Whenever I was at Greg's, I was a little bit of a troublemaker, I guess. But that's to be expected. I'm kind of young. I don't know any better, so my mouth always got me in trouble. And then my teachers would kind of isolate me from the other kids, so that certainly sucked. Before that, I was going to grounds, but I kind of also got kicked out of the grounds. Like, let's just say that I wasn't exactly the best kid growing up, but I wasn't like really really bad either. I guess my mouth always got me in trouble. Um, so um, it's kind of hard for me to talk about. So we're gonna get on to one day I came home from school and like I said, my mama she lived with my we lived with our grandmother at the time. Um, One day I came in and my grandmother she was sick. My mama and my aunt had to go to work because my aunt lives across the street from us, so that's why I mentioned her. Um, my cousin was walking up and down the street. Um, and then since my grandma was sick, she was kind of running back and forth to the restroom, and that's not really funny. But if you want to laugh, you're free to laugh. I'm not gonna hold you back. And then, since I wasn't home alone with her, she had a heart attack because, like I said, she was sick. I didn't know what to do. All I heard her was just making this weird noise. I did eventually find out what had happened, but like I said, I was just too young to really know what to do. I didn't really know my street address, but then again, I'm kind of a child at this time. Luckily, my cousin was walking down the street. I called her in the house. She called 911, and then she called my mom and my aunt, and then they came. And then I had to literally watch my grandma be taken out on a freaking gurney. I was upset. I was scared. I didn't know what the hell to do. Um, Afterwards, um, later that day, or I guess later the next day, we were at the hospital. We were at St. Luke's Hospital because that's where they had took her. And um, I don't like she didn't like this was on the night that she passed away, or it was before she passed away. Like I was too young to be let inside the room, so my uncle Michael took me outside so where I could just cry, I guess. And of course, like he told her that that she said that she loved me, and um Like I kind of did cry a little bit. Yeah, I cried a lot of it actually. Okay, but of course she later died that week. I had lost somebody that I had cared about a lot, and ever since that day, I always felt like it was my fault. Um, um, so since she had passed away that week, we had our funeral. I had to stop going to the school because we had to move. So I had to transfer out to another school, and then I started going to Woodson. And I went to Woodson from second grade all the way to eighth grade. Um, which Woodson created some of the worst years of my life, but I did have some of the best moments there. Um, so whenever we died, I was a mess at the funeral. I was crying the whole thing. I was crying in the car. And I remember even a song that they played on that day. And it's a song that it does have a special meaning to my heart, but I don't listen to it anymore. Which was Let Go and Let God. And like, I had just lost it that day. I didn't know what had happened to me. I never had sadness like that in my life. And even right now, I look back on it and like, I'm literally crying right now. It's hard for me to look back on moments like that. Um, so, um, because I was all upset at the time, it was really dysfunctional, and plus we were moving. It was a really hard time for me. I had lost all my friends, and if I had to start over from scratch, and because I wasn't in like second grade, like I didn't know a lot of schoolwork. I didn't know my timetables, and the kids thought I was stupid, and they thought I was a crybaby because they didn't know I had lost my grandmother. But because I'm a crybaby, they teased me and they made fun of me, and that's not their fault. They're just kids. They didn't know any better. And of course, they did that from pretty much, second, third to, they did that pretty much my whole elementary, all the way from second grade to pretty much the rest of elementary. And then we got to fifth grade. Fifth grade was certainly a year where actually, we're going to move on to, we're going to stay at second grade for a little bit because these are two guys that I feel like I need to mention. I met these two guys named Deshaun and Deontay, I think his name was. But we became friends, and neither of them were popular. Um, they were kind of like the class clowns. I guess they knew how to be cool, and they became my friends. Um, me and the show, we stopped hanging out with Deontay because all the kids started making fun of him, and if like I said, we're just kids at the time, but we began to make fun of him too because we didn't want to be the butt of the joke. I would do anything to be cool back then, but that's my fault. So then we move on to second grade, which kind of set the tone for a good part of my life. Because I met my best friend, Christian. And Christian was my best friend, and he's still my best friend up to now, but we don't talk anymore. And I'll explain why later on. Um, So I met Christian, and how we met was basically we were in one of the T buildings, and I saw him sitting by himself. And like, he wasn't in there; he was just new at the school. You know how the new kids always sit by themselves, or sometimes. But I went up there and I talked to him, and then his sister started hanging out with somebody who I didn't like, which was this girl named Javion Fisher. Um, and she didn't like me either, but I didn't really care. Um, and they were brother and sister, and of course, like they're gonna make fun of each other. So since she was making fun of Christian, I kind of hopped in to defend Christian, and blah blah blah, and then I kind of, we started making fun of each other. But I kind of like this sister, so that's me, I guess. So next day, I got a new friend, and then I went up to his sister, and of course I apologized because, like I said, I had a crush on the sister. Um, fifth grade, and nothing really eventful happened in third grade. Then we move on to fifth grade and fourth. Fifth in fifth grade, Beyblades were the thing. I remember I love Beyblades. Um, Another thing that I kind of love was Pokemon. Pokemon has been my favorite game ever since I got into Pokemon. I hated Pokemon in second grade. I didn't even know what the fuck it was. I started watching the TV show, and then I found my first Pokemon Diamond game, which was awesome, by the way. But um, the only reason why I was cool was I wasn't even cool in fifth grade. I was a fucking nerd. Um, and then I wasn't emotionally unstable anymore. But if I was picked on for too long, I would still have my breakdowns. And this was like the most memorable breakdown I ever had. Was the day I had it in the auditorium. I went off on everybody, and if I told my teacher, Miss Walker, shut up, you old hag, something like that. And that I hate her. Oh yeah, I remember. I told her I'll kill you all, and if I ran out crying, I hate everybody. Why are you guys always making fun of me and shit? Leave me alone. I'll kill you all. Like I said, I was really upset that day. I never meant anything I said. So I ran out. She brought me back in there, and if I had to sit in front of the whole auditorium, everybody kept looking at me. I didn't want to be looked at. I didn't. That was so awkward. I completely embarrassed myself. That's another moment. It's kind of hard to look back on, but it made me stronger, at least a little bit. So next up is we go on to sixth grade. Sixth grade was the same, but in sixth grade my bullying got a hell of a lot worse. I fell into depression, and then I became suicidal. I didn't know that if you kill yourself, you go to hell. Whenever I found that out, I realized I didn't want to go to hell. But really, the only thing that really kept me going in fifth grade was going to church. Um, and here's the thing: I had eczema growing up too, so whenever I would get really stressed out, my skin would always break out, and that caused kids to make fun of me because of my skin too. And if I would have to go to the nursing or put some Vaseline or some type of cream on it so where it would calm down. Um, um, my mama eventually got me this cream to help me with my skin, but this cream had but the cream has steroids in it that kind of screwed up my skin. So I'm going ahead and just put on a webcam real quick, just so you guys can see my arms. But like I said, that's not her fault. Oh, I can't do it. Sorry about that. I was gonna do it, but it's too late now. Um, but after the kid made fun of me, and basically the steroids caused stretch marks in my arms, and now I kind of have my eczema went away, which is good, but now I kind of have stretch marks, and they look nasty because of the steroids that were in the cream. So if you always wonder why I have those marks on my arm, that's pretty much been explained now, so you don't have to ask me next time you see me. Now fuck off. but But in fifth grade, like I said, I was suicidal, I was depressed, and I didn't want to kill myself, and nothing could really drain the emotional pain. But one day I was walking and I accidentally, like, I guess kind of accidentally cut myself, and the thing is, it felt actually good. It kind of drained the emotional pain a little bit. So, I kind of started cutting myself because I know a lot of people are gonna say you crazy, but it felt good. Like it's the physical pain took away the emotional pain. And I used to cut myself high on my shoulder and on my like around my arm area, like high up, like to where like you could wear a short sleeve shirt and it will still be covered. So the marks aren't there because I never really cut myself all that deep. So if I can literally roll up my sleeves all the way to that point, and you won't see them because the scars are gone. Because I never really cut myself deep. I don't know. I guess I was just too much of a bitch to do that. Um, After that suicidal depression, um, I entered my sixth grade year was over, which was finally good. I had to deal with cringy moments such as seeing my crush in the hallway, hating my teacher, Miss Walker. The class, like I said, I used to get bullied by my whole class, and the teachers never seemed to do anything about it, but it just makes the situation worse. Um, like I said, I was in a bad place in fifth grade, but that had nothing to do with my grandmother. So I would also try and fight for myself, but I get beat up, so it didn't really matter. Um, this is also something else I feel like I need to bring up. Me and this boy named Zach, we got into a fight, and Zach was a friend of mine, and Zach is a friend of mine now. But we got into a fight, and the thing is, Zach was kind of a two pick, so of course everybody thinks that I could beat him up because he's big, but I never knew how to fight. So yes, I did get beat up by Zach. Yes, that's true, but it never started in. None of those punches hurt. He hit me in the stomach most of the time. I think he hit me one time in the face. Yeah, he did. And then that's pretty much it there. So if you if you see me and then you bring up that shit that happened with Zach, that was like in fifth grade. So get a fucking life. Like grow the fuck up. That shit is all the way in the past. I hate it when people have to bring up shit from my past just so they can get something on me now. Like if I was really that bad or if I was really that much of a loser, you'd be able to find something on me now. But you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. I guess I'm not dumb enough to make the same mistakes twice, unlike some people. But now we're on to that. Me and Zach, we're cool now, of course. But that's that. So we move on to my seventh grade year. Seventh grade was one of the best years of my life. Every time somebody would try and make jokes about me, I always got on their case. Everybody, like there was only one person who could really beat me in the whole school whenever it came to making jokes about people. And I think I almost beat him that one time, but I just walked off because I was in a bad mood that day. Um, I didn't want to deal with the insult, so he shot at me, and then that shot at him back, and you know, I think I kind of won that. But this is one thing I've learned is that whenever you're talking about people, and then you're around your friends, you kind of have that advantage. Because even if your friends like, oh my god, I love that day, I miss that day. I wish I could go back to that day just so I can see what exactly I said. But I kind of, yeah. Um, Seventh grade was pretty much just a joking year. I didn't do anything. I didn't do my work or anything like that. I do my work from time to time, but I didn't really take into consideration that I was just making D's and F's. So I bring home my report card and after that, those some D's on it. Yes, I really just made that song reference. Do not hurt me in the comments. Do not roast me. Sorry about that. Where was I? Where was I? Oh yeah, seventh grade. Seventh grade, my report cards and grades were horrible, but I was having the best time of my life. Of course, I got suspended every here and now and again. I got suspended. for apparently fighting. I was just running from this kid in the classroom because he tried to stab me with a pencil over the most dumb reason, but whatever. I didn't care. I was just enjoying myself. So, of course, I had to go to summer school, but summer school wasn't that bad either. So now we move on to my eighth grade year. And the truth is, this is one I have problems with. I know my fifth grade year was worse, but I feel like they're kind of even because I was kind of in the same boat. I was suicidal and I was depressed, but I wasn't cutting myself anymore. I don't know why I thought I was, but I wasn't cutting myself anymore whenever I moved on to eighth grade. Um, I was placed because of my behavior in seventh grade. I got placed. I think they divided us up by our test scores. Yeah, they did. They divided us up by our test scores, and because of my test scores last year, I got placed with a classroom of kids who they borderline did not like me. I'm not gonna name those kids, but if you were in my eighth grade class and Miss Banks' homeroom, you know who the fuck you are. And I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. I fucking hated it, but that's because of the way they treated me. Once again, I was the butt of the joke. I was the fat kid in the classroom. But the thing is, there was only one person who could really take that pain away. And then we're gonna talk about her in a minute, but um, because this is where like I didn't want to bring in my personal life into it. I'm gonna bring in kind of like my love kind of personal life into it next. So, even though it kind of started in the sixth grade, but yeah, I'm gonna bring that up next. But in eighth grade, I got bullied hardcore. There was no mercy. Everybody was taking shots at me. Of course, I could fire back. Like if you say something mean about me, like I always got a comeback ready. But I couldn't. But like I said, I wasn't really all the best fighter. I've had my moments where I did slap boxes one kid in the restroom. I'm not gonna name him. Um, and after that, these two little seventh graders snitched on us, little bitches. Um, like mind your own business. But this boy, he tripped me in the hallway, and then later on in the year, he kind of beat me up because I got mad over that. Not later on in the year, but a little bit after that, I went after him. He tried to play it off like it was an accident, and then he kind of whooped my ass. And after that, I didn't know what to do. And the thing is, they had divided us up by our genders last year. The classes got divided up by literally boys and girls. So they put girls on like one side of the school, and then they put boys on the other. Like, so I got my ass whooped in front of an all girls classroom. And after that, I went off and after that, I snitched. And then the thing is, because I didn't tell her at first, he didn't even get in all that much trouble. That was embarrassing. Then later on in the year, he slapped me with hand sanitizer and soap. Until this day, I still don't fucking like that kid. You know what? I might as well name his name Richard. I never liked you, and I never will like you. So if you ever see me at Felon, don't fucking talk to me. But next, like I said, I did get bullied. I was suicidal and depressed, but whatever. Next, we're gonna move on to this other kid named Damien. Like out of the bullies I had last year, these two guys were the absolute worst, and Cedric. But I don't want to even bring in Cedric into this because I got my revenge on him. But Damian Jackson was the worst person I ever met. He is the only dude who I hate, and he is the dude who I currently hate. I'm never gonna forgive that motherfucker for what he did. And even if I do forgive him, I'm still gonna hate him for it. This is where my personal life kind of comes in. Whenever I was in fifth grade, my friend Matthew wanted me to ask out this girl named Amy. And I might as well mention her name, because if you know me and you go to Wilson, you're already gonna know who the fuck I'm talking about. So he wanted me to ask out Amy, blah 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 blah. I asked out for him. She said I don't want to go out with him. And then, of course, this took the awkwardness off my back. I started making jokes, and then we became friends that day. And then we started talking every day after school, and we kind of became really good friends. Like I became like her best friend. And I don't know if we still have that relationship anymore. I don't really talk to her all that much, but that's my fault, I guess. Um, um, I was in love with her 6th grade through 8th grade. Until this day, I never truly got over her. Because throughout all the hell that I had to put up with, like, literally just sitting at school, outside the gate after school, making jokes was the best part of every day. It was the part I looked forward to. I miss doing that. Like, that was, like, the best time of my life. I remember in 8th grade, we would always walk up and, like, we would walk up the sidewalk and at the, we would sit there and of course we would tell jokes and stuff, but I didn't have that much time because I rode a bus. I miss that. I really do. But the thing is, whenever I was with her, she was the only person who ever took the pain away from my heart. And whenever she left, the pain just all came back, I guess. Like everything, I was so empty to the point where I just felt like my heart, it was like some type of void at the bottom of it. Something was like just tearing me apart from the inside out, and I didn't know what it was. It was to the point where like I wanted to cry. I had everything emotional, but I couldn't shed a tear. And the pain of trying to cry actually made me cry. Like I don't know what the hell I just said, but that's how I felt in a nutshell. If you're some type of therapist, maybe you can make that out. But basically, I was in love with this girl. She never wanted to go out with me, and we never hit it off. Yeah. Now we move on to Damien and what he did. Basically, David was going around talking about um Amy sucked his dick and whatever. Then Damien decided it would be funny to go around starting a rumor, and then he said that I fucked Amy. Then Amy stopped talking to me after school. She completely ignored me. She didn't even want to tell me what was going on. I called her like 3 times. She didn't answer. I left her a message asking her to please explain what's going on, please talk to me. And then she told me what happened, and then she told me about the rumors, and then she just hung up in my face, and she didn't even let me explain what had happened. To this day, I hate that fucking dude for what he did. I'm never gonna forgive him. And even if I do, I'm always gonna hate him. I hate that fucking dude. Like, let's think about this. There was a kid who literally slapped me with hand sanitizer, beat me up in front of an all girls classroom. This motherfucker shit me in the hallway in front of people and constantly abused me throughout the rest of the year. And I don't even hate him. He nearly, like, I knew that she wasn't gonna go out with me and I was fine, but at least I still had her in my life. And he almost cost me that. But I should have known it wasn't gonna work out anyway. So, the reason why Amy didn't want to go out with me, she's not a racist, but she just doesn't date black guys. She probably would have gone out with me if I was white, but I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Afterwards, eventually my friend Derek, this was like really the only good deed I can remember him doing for me. Was he worked it out. I gave her he talked to Amy for me and then he fixed it. And the thing is, this is why I also don't like Damien. It's because Damien started a rumor about his girlfriend cheating on him. They got that all sorted out, and then I don't know. Derek said he doesn't like him either, but I fucking hate that dude. But I can't put words in other people's mouths, so I'm not sure. So now we move on to the last couple of weeks of school. We take our start test. Damien keeps fucking with me about answers. This motherfucker literally finished his reading start test in like the first 30 minutes and he passed. He didn't cheat or anything. I didn't really care. I passed mine anyway. And here's the thing, I was getting bullied by my eighth grade teacher, Miss Thomas. She never liked me. She borderline despised me. Like, my teachers, they liked me, but they just didn't like the things I say and do. Well, they didn't like the things that I say. Mr. Jaguar liked me. He just didn't like the curse words that came out of my mouth. Mr. Knight liked me. He sure as hell didn't like the curse words that came out of my mouth. But that's because he's religious. So I feel like we can all understand that. Um, Miss Banks didn't like the words that came out of my mouth. And then you have Miss Thomas. I was really quiet in her classroom. I'd always try not to talk because I know she's always going to jump on me. She would always find a way to embarrass me and stuff, and I got so sick of her. I hated that bitch. One day she literally even kicked the desk at my back. She threatened me that I had to make an 80 or above on start test, or else she was going to fail me. Like, she did not care. This bitch is fucking ruthless. She's a heartless, coldest slut, and I hope she fucking dies. You know, maybe I went a little bit too far with that. I'm sorry. But that's how I honestly feel about her. Oh well. Um so now we move on to graduation. I didn't go to graduation, but this is just us rehearsing for graduation. The kids who weren't going, or the kids who couldn't go because they fucking failed, they had to they Mr. Jaguar took them out of the auditorium. And the people who didn't want to go or they weren't gonna go, they the people they also went Mr. Jaguar, but the people who passed and they didn't want to go, they stayed. I decided why not? I got nothing to lose. There's a whole bunch of people I don't like in there, so I figured I might as well not fuck with them. So then we sat there and we rehearsed for literally like an hour or two for this graduation thing, and so eventually I didn't even want to go to graduation because I look around, I realized that I don't have any friends here either. The only friends I have is like what Christian in Santiago, maybe Matthew. That's pretty much it. I realized that everybody who said they were my friend was not my friend. Derek, maybe, I guess. I don't know if Curtis and me. I don't even think Curtis was really my friend. I think he just hung out with me because he felt bad for me. So, which is kind of fucking like I don't know. Cullen, I guess. And then that's pretty much it. And Amy, but Amy wasn't in there. Amy doesn't like being around people, so of course I knew she wasn't gonna do that. Um, Eventually, me and her we did patch up our relationship, but you know, whatever. She we don't talk anymore, and I'll explain why whenever I get to my third year, which is now. So we move on. Like I said, we're at graduation. Um, they're calling up people who passed all four of their STAR tests, and then they call my name. And the truth is, I'm like half asleep, and everybody's looking at me, and like I just keep my hood on, and I walk up there. Like, I got nothing to say to anybody. And the thing is, the person who was calling the names was Miss Thomas, and she had such a smart little attitude in her voice. Like I heard it, everybody heard it. She said, "Ugh, Jaden." Like I know, like she wanted to smack her lips right before. I passed my science with a 78, so I nearly got commended on that actually. I passed my history with like a 76, my math with a 74, and my reading with like a 75. At the end of the day, I passed eighth grade and I didn't have to go to summer school. Yay. Um, I didn't really say my goodbyes to anybody. I wanted to go off, but I just decided to keep everything to myself. There's no point. I've already like people already know my story, and even if they don't, it doesn't matter. Like I'm just one person. Who cares? Out of the millions of people who've gone through worse and probably the same shit as me, why would you care about me? So we move on to my Sterling years. I start off pretty good. I'm making good grades. I've made some good friends. I started off hanging out with these group of friends. In my fifth period. Um, then after that, I started hanging out with this other group of friends. Let me just tell you this: David's brother was the first person I actually met on the show, like the first new person I interacted with. Jonathan, if you're watching this, what's up, bro? Because I know he subscribed. Prone to laugh. Yes, if you're in the comments, say hi. But um, and then Jonathan, I met Jonathan, Tevin, and Xavier, and those guys were like the coolest guys I had ever met. I talked to Derek and Moses and Curtis for a little bit, but other than that, whatever. That was just kind of cool, I guess. But I don't think Curtis likes me all that much, and Derek, we still talk, but um, and then Jonathan, he introduced me to his friends, and then which is kind of something I didn't mind because I made two really good friends out of that group, actually three. Um, I met Rodney, Jaron, and Jonas. Jonathan, he left later on in the year for a private school, just to let you guys know. And I think David got arrested for trespassing or something. But they let him out and he's out now. But people from like I had to ride the bus home. Of course I was nervous about that. But eventually I got used to it. Yay. um but I made a lot of friends at Sterling. But the truth is that it would like the truth is I had so many friends to where I could transfer to like five groups in the morning. I have five different groups of friends I can hang out with. But let me tell you about how I lost those groups of friends. Group number one was the group that Johnny introduced me to. Out of everybody in that group, the only three real friends that I actually got out of that group was Jonathan, but he left, so I'm not really counting him. Rodney, Jonas, and Jaron, and that's it. And I guess Elizabeth, but I don't really want to put her in there because like we didn't really talk all that much. And I said like good friends. Like I'm pretty sure she was a good person, but we just never really talked all that much. So I still do consider her a friend now. Um, and then there was Jasmine and Rihanna. I found out that Jasmine didn't like me because like I don't know. I didn't like she found my sense of humor offensive. That's what Elizabeth told me, and Jaren showed me the messages where she talked trash behind my back. So I didn't really care for her anymore. Um, I thought she was cool, but like I said, nobody wants to tell me how they feel about me, so it's whatever. And then there was Rihanna. I don't like the things that Rihanna does. She spits on people, she touches people, and she thinks that's okay, but that's fucking disgusting. Like that's sexual harassment. Like don't do that shit. That's not appropriate. And I kind of don't like her right now, but I don't like her and Jasmine. So my reasons are kind of justified for that. Like I don't like, and if you're mad at that, like I don't care. Like this is me, like I don't have a fucking filter when I say shit like this. Like this is me being 100% honest. I'm not sugarcoating shit in this fucking video. This is my story. This is my life. This is how honest I fucking feel. Oops, I hurt your feelings. Who cares anymore? Because clearly nobody gives a damn about mine. So, eventually I stopped hanging around that area because it got really toxic. Number one, where they hang out at is just kind of annoying. I hate the sunlight. It's really fucking annoying. I don't like Jasmine's smart little attitude. I don't like Rihanna's quirky remarks. I just don't like that area in general. I'm sure a lot of them are cool, but I just don't know the rest of them. So I just got the fuck out of there. Um, the only time I really go over there is whenever Jaren is over there, and that's pretty much it. Or Jonas, I guess. Um, or Rodney, because Rodney's pretty much my main friend right now. So, um, eventually, then next up is we have the other group of friends, which my fifth period friends. I'm still cool with them now, actually. Like all of my fifth period friends, I'm actually cool with. I still talk to Isabel. I asked out Eliza. She said, "Ill no," but eventually she stopped talking to me. But then, I guess we're cool now. Um, I'm still cool with Angela, and then Brian and Derek they joined, and then James kind of joined, and then Isabel left, and Nicole. I forgot about Nicole. Yeah, I'm still cool with Nicole too, actually. Um, so that's what happened with that. Since I had my A period friends, I had Demas, Eduardo, and Isaiah. Like, oh my gosh, I miss those guys. Like we were like I love that group, but Isaiah left the class. I remember at the beginning of the year, me and Isaiah we hated each other, but eventually we became cool. Like Isaiah's a good friend of mine now. Um, who else? I try and talk to Demas every once in a while because I don't see him that often. Like Demas is a good dude. I still talk to him every once in a while. Eduardo, I talk to him. I think Eduardo's cool, but he just finds me annoying. And then Davon is like my nigga at this point. Like that dude has such a smart mouth. It's hard like not to, like the dude. He's a very commonsensical person. And then there's Luis. Luis is also kind of one of my niggas too. I started talking to Luis whenever in seven period. So Luis is also one of my niggas too. I'm still cool with everybody in that group. Um, and after that we have the other group of female friends. Um, uh, and I feel like they know who they are, but I'm gonna leave their names out of it because they just to like kind of be, I guess, nice. I don't want to filter anything out, but I feel like I'm kind of obligated to. Um, so they were good people. Like I had a lot of friends at first. I'm still cool with a lot of people. I was cool with at the beginning of the year. Um, basically there was this one friend that always stood out to me the most, and that's because I felt like I connected to her out of everybody. Eventually she stopped hanging out with me, and then she started back hanging out with me again. After something that happened, and I'm not gonna say what that something was because like I don't want to tell. This is my story too, so fuck it. Um, one day I was chilling with my friends, Juan and them. These are like my DS friends. Like whenever I need somebody to play my game with, like I love playing with those guys. Like those are my niggas when it comes to playing the game. Even though they beat me every time it's Smash Brothers, but I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. Step on Pokemon, I don't win. But I was chilling with them outside, and then one day these guys, they were talking to my two friends, Rosa and Izzy. Apparently, one of the dudes the other day they smacked her on the ass, and then she slapped the shit out of him. And then one of the dudes that called her out, they wouldn't stop talking to her, and then she got mad. She stormed over there. Izzy tried to calm her down. I feel like I'm out of line for telling the story, but then again, I didn't get involved, so it makes it my business too. Like Rosa and Izzy were like my two of my best friends. So what happened that day was like, this was around the time Izzy stopped talking to me. I was still cool with Rosa, so I saw that they were in trouble, so um, I thought she had it under control. And then one of the guys, um, I helped her hold back Rosa, I guess, or I held her stuff. And then one of the dudes, he ran up and he punched her in the mouth, and then I went over there to go help her, and then she went after the dude. Like that was like the bravest thing I've ever seen anybody ever do. Like that, like he just ran up and punched the girl in the mouth. Like I don't know, like that stuff fucked up. And then I went over there and helped her because I didn't know what to do at the time. The rest of the boys they just stood there laughing. He ran off. Um, and he ended up getting arrested for what he did. And then we started hanging out again. Like I was so scared for them at that moment. Rosa, she stopped coming to school for a little while, and then Izzy was by herself, so I started hanging out with Izzy because I didn't want her to, be by herself at that time. And then now we started hanging out for a little while again, and then now we just don't talk anymore. So that's what happened with that. I've had other shit like that happen before, so it didn't really phase me. I just wish that she would have told me that she didn't want to hang out with me anymore. Cause I don't mind that, but it just makes me look stupid when I walk up and then I talk to you in front of people. Like I get the message. If you don't want to if you don't want to hang out with me, just tell me. I'm not this fucking moron who can't take a hint. I don't know if we're cool or not anymore. I'm assuming we're not, so I just don't even bother talking to her. Um, and then we move on to now. Around eighth grade, this is the kind of an important part I didn't mention. My mama and her, we just moved out of the apartments. Like I said, we had to move because my grandmother had died. But we had just moved out of those apartments, and after we moved to Higgins Street, which is the area closer to where my grandmother lived. And then, um, of course, I was still going to Woodson, but eventually too many people moved in with us, and it was a big house, and it kind of made it hard to afford. And then, even though my mom was maintaining it, she had to get surgery, and then she had to take a while off work, and then we kind of lost the house. Right now, we're living with my auntie. We don't have a lot. And my mother, she's kind of thinking about, putting us into a homeless shelter. This isn't no soft story. This isn't something that I don't want people helping me with. I just want answers. Like, this is just me telling my story. Where I'm at now, how am I doing? I don't want this on the news. I don't want this spread around the campus like wildfire. But I'm kind of setting myself up for that by posting this video, but I don't give a fuck. So, like I said, and then you have other people that they've done things to me. I almost got into a fight with this boy named Demontre Laws over his laptop and stuff. I don't know if we're cool or not, but let me tell you the story with that. Um, Basically, my friend Brian told me told this boy Demontre that I had his laptop because he, like, at the beginning of the school year, the school gave us laptops. Demontre needed somebody to watch his apparently, and then he gave it to Brian. And then Brian apparently gave it to me. At least that's what he said, because I never got the laptop. And then Demontre would not leave me alone about it, and I kept telling him, I don't have it, I don't have it. Go ask Brian, because I didn't actually have it. Brian never gave me anything. Um, so then, um, we almost got into like 3, 4 fights because of that. We almost got into a fight over that after start test. We almost got into a fight with over that Mr. Last of the class before. Then we almost got into a fight like a little bit later in that week. And then we almost got into another fight in the same day in front of the principals. And then I explained to them what happened. He said the same laptop that got confiscated. And if I went like, wait, what? And then they took him in, and then bottom line is that whole situation got fixed. And then like that was kind of that pissed me off, but whatever. Because I was right in that situation, but I didn't make a big deal out of it after it happened. I'm just happy that I stood my ground. Everybody kept saying that, "Oh, you're gonna get beat up. You're gonna get beat up," and I didn't care. Like, I just want people to leave me alone. Like, what part of that don't you get? And after that, we move on to the thing now is that people from Wilson still talk about things from the past. Every time I go to A period, this girl she'll ask me, "Hey, do you still talk to Amy?" Like, I don't want to be talked. I don't want to talk about that. I don't talk to her anymore. I just want to get that out the way. I used to love her, and I get that we don't have anything to talk about now. But like, please don't bring her up because I love that girl, and she doesn't love me back, and it kind of hurts me every time somebody brings her up. Like, of course, I play it off like it's cool, but it's actually not. I'm really good at hiding my emotions because I'm scared of being made fun of for them. But at the end of the day, it's like whatever. This is just me being completely 100 with everybody. I feel like this is just things that needed to be said. So if you ever meet me in real life, I don't want you bringing up things like my past. I don't want you making jokes about my grandmama. Like, that shit's not funny. I don't want you making jokes about me getting beat up by people or me almost getting beat up by people. I don't want you making jokes about the girl I used to love, Amy. I hate that shit. And I also don't like it when people bring up my past fights. Like, don't bring that up. I hate it when people do that. Like, that's so cringy for me. Like, what am I supposed to do in that moment? Like, I don't want to brag about beating somebody up or getting beat up. I don't want to be bothered with that. Like, point blank, period. Leave me the fuck alone. But it seems like no matter what I do, I'm not going to get what I want. So, this is what I'm going through right now. This is how I honestly feel. And right now, I'm just in this hole right now. I'm just so tired of everything and everybody. And the thing is, like I said, which brings me back, the only person who could ever get rid of that feeling was Amy. And the thing is, I'm not even like looking for, like, I don't even want her anymore. I still want her. Like, if she asked me out, I would say yes in a heartbeat. But my point is that I'm not just looking for her love. Like, I'm looking for love in general. I'm so alone. Like, and the thing is, I put up with the stuff because I'm scared of losing everybody because I don't have anybody. I want to distance myself from people. I want to distance myself from everybody. But I don't want to lose the friends that I have, and that's why I put up with the crap I do. I don't want to be alone because I guess having friends and having people that make you laugh is the closest thing you'll ever have to that. But just like if you see me, even if I laugh, I'm not happy. Like, I've never really been truly happy. I'm never gonna be truly happy ever again until I guess until I feel what I felt with Amy. So bye.